whatever time of the day it is you happen to be listening to the P&A Podcast Express. Take two.
Take two.
We won't explain that, but take two.
That one, like a fart in a mason jar, that one got away on us.
Yes. So you're listening to the second iteration of tonight's episode, which is number 537629er Alpha.
And Omega. He's Adam
Beta.
Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. I can't even get that out. Phil Nickel.
Yes.
Blah. This is the P&A Podcast Express. You can email us at pineapple-nipple-arsehole, that's arsehole, A-R-S-E, hole, at gmail.com, or P&A Podcast Express at gmail.com, which is painful nut allergy, as we like to say. Painful nut allergy, Podcast Express at gmail.com.
Yes.
Wade, my buddy Wade is here, my good friend. He had one of the most amazing monologues in the first take, and it's forever gone. So I'm upset about that. Wade, how are you?
Oh, I'm not bad. Good to be here.
Yeah, Wade is my good friend. We met bartending together at a small pub in Lexington. We have similar interest in comedy. And like I said, he's much funnier than I am. He also just graduated from law school, so not only is he funnier than me, he's smarter than I am.
Both low bars. Both low bars.
So here we are, another episode of the Podcast Express. We have a guest, and I asked if anything was grinding his gears, and he went on this awesome rant, and then he sort of passed out for a second, hit the reset button, and then we did not record it properly. So that's our bad, Wade. We're sorry.
Yeah, that was on me.
Yeah.
That was on me.
So we're at the Silver Tavern as always, having a few adult beverages, and Adam just had a wonderful burger and fries that looked really good. And we're going to try to talk about some subjects that maybe you don't want to hear about, but we're going to talk about them anyway.
They need to be talked about.
We usually talk about the elephant. We specialize in elephants in the room and very taboos and things that are very uncomfortable for people. So,
Well, I do have something grinding my gears.
okay, Adam has something grinding his gears. Let's kick it off.
Why does English suck so bad?
I know I can't even formulate words hardly today.
I majored in it. I know that too well.
Explain this to me. Why do we have toilet paper, but the French have rolls of hygienic paper?
That's interesting.
We have toilet paper. The French have rolls of hygienic paper. I would much rather use hygienic paper.
Yeah, or why do we drive in the parkway and park in the driveway?
These are all quality things that need to be hashed out that might never be fully answered.
And much like my ridiculous past exploitations, I realized the hard way that flammable and inflammable mean the same thing. That's when I was younger. It kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what's grinding your gears is just that English sucks.
Yeah, and on a lot more levels than that. I mean, I've always known that, but we have a little shelf above the toilet at work, and I happen to be staring at it for 30 to 40 seconds one day, and I'm like, there's toilet paper on there, and I'm like, why do the French get such a cool thing for toilet paper, and we have toilet paper?
It's pretty blunt, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, people just call it shit paper. So,
Yeah.
Essentially. Because, let's face it, that's its job for the most part.
I mean, the fate is the same of both.
Yeah.
But yet, prior to its intended use, it is so much cooler.
But much like romance and everything else, the French are just much more elegant at everything than we are.
Just trying to add a little dignity to something undignified.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great... See? Boom.
Yeah,
In a very undignified world, we're just trying to add a little bit of dignity.
and it does, I
That's
suppose.
a good boom catchphrase right there.
But I noticed it, so I think that
Did you forget
does.
to take your phone into the bathroom?
I did not. No.
I did that. So it's like old school where you grab anything with words on it to read it.
Yeah.
Like
well, I just
reading
happened to be standing there,
reading the
with
back
nothing
of
else to do.
Yeah, reading the back of the Glade spray can. Oh shit, this propellant may be flammable. Let's check that out.
Well, yeah. And then the next time you got to bring a lighter,
And then it turns into a big production because the sprinklers go off. And
Yeah.
It's just,
The maintenance guys are all pissed.
and you haven't done the paperwork yet, so you're kind of sitting there stuck while alarms are going off.
Yeah. And you're thinking, I hope this is a drill. I hope it's a drill.
But Also, in the back of your mind, you know you are the cause of said fire. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I did that in college. I heard the fire alarms going off in the dorms, and I'm like, I don't want to get out of bed. So I just laid in bed while the alarms went off, and everyone filed outside, and I'm just, let's hope this is a drill this time.
I have a similar story with a friend of mine that I coach wrestling with. We were at a big tournament. We're at a big, huge hotel. 3 a.m, the alarms all go off, right? Some kids dinking around from the wrestling tournament. So all of us, of course, you can't use the elevator, so we've 13 flights down steps and get down to the lobby, and they're like, yeah, it's this time of year, so nobody wanted to go outside. We get down to the lobby, they're like, yeah, you don't have to go outside. This is a false alarm and all that. I'm like, well, where's Jeff? We go back upstairs the next day. I say to him, like, where'd you go? He goes, oh, I didn't get out of bed.
if this is how I die,
Yeah.
I die.
13 flights of stairs,
The
no.
hell with that. And that was the down part.
Yeah. Well, we were able to take the elevators back up.
I like that you were on the 13th floor.
Well, we were probably technically on the 14th, but
Yeah.
I just know that it was 13 flights of stairs because I counted it. They can lie all they want to you. That 13th floor really exists.
See, that's what I don't get. Like, calling it the 14th floor does not make it not the 13th floor.
Why 13? Why is 13 bad?
Do you know the etymology of why this is bad? Why 13 has such terrible connotations as far as superstitiously?
I have no idea.
Okay. That's okay. We don't either, so.
No. If anybody knows, they can email us
Yeah.
at pineapplenipplearsehole@gmail.com.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Because, you know what? We have fingers and we have Google, but I'm just too lazy to do either one
I know
right
the
now.
fear of the number 13 is trixidicophobia, but other than that,
Yes.
Well.
And that's a common spelling word in the master spelling bees, too.
Yes. Not that I would spell it. That's why I never did well in those.
My daughter is actually bringing up random. She has a journal and she is noting all of these phobias. So, I do know that flatulence is the fear of farts. I did have to look that up because she's telling me about these phobias, and I'm like, there's got to be a fear of farts, and it's flatulence.
There's a phobia about being chased by wolves
Yeah,
around a kitchen table wearing socks on linoleum.
I bet.
I don't remember what it's called, but it was on a Far Side calendar I had.
There's a phobia of aluminum too. Like some people are afraid of like aluminum foil. Yeah. I don't know if it's a texture thing. Apparently they envision them biting down on it, which it really doesn't skeeze me out, but biting down on aluminum foil, apparently some people, it freaks them really the heck out. By the way, I'm still in F-bomb jail. My mother told me one more episode, so just an update on where we are with that.
Great. Well,
I got to give the people what they want.
yeah.
My mother told me one more episode with no F-bombs, and I will be out of F-bomb jail. I don't think I have yet this episode.
Are you going to be on probation after that?
It's still a probationary, double secret probation.
Okay.
Yes.
But I think you could probably get away with a few at that point.
Well, I don't know how intensely my mother listens. I think she just listens until I swear 5 times or say F-bomb 5 times, and then she gives up. Because she's just ashamed that she raised someone like me. But I think she is every day anyway.
I've heard that urban legend before that if you go say fuck in the mirror 3 times, Phil will appear.
Ooh.
It's horrific.
It is horrific to think about.
Could you imagine being in the bathroom and just being like, fuck, 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 and then Phil?
behind you.
Yeah.
Saying pineapple
Ominously.
nipple arsehole.
Why couldn't we get asshole?
Why couldn't we get asshole?
I've probably...
Censorship's un-American, you woodcock.
I probably just hit my maximum number of F-bombs that I've ever dropped in an
that's more than
episode.
you've dropped in any show before.
Or maybe all combined.
Like hearing you say it's almost like a unicorn. Because never play leapfrog with a unicorn, by the way. But anyway, hearing you say that just blew my mind.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I should go wash my hands or something.
You should.
Yeah.
Just have a swig of beer.
Yeah.
You'll be
Drink.
fine. Drink. Hey, episode 2.
2.
Drink. By the way, any masturbation stories, Wade?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, well, if you think of any, just feel free to break in at any moment and tell a masturbation story because we enjoy them thoroughly. And I know our listeners do, too.
Yeah, they might, send us emails about, hey, keep it in your pants and that kind of
Right.
stuff, but they don't mean it.
I mean, flailing on yourself is something we all do, so why not talk about it?
Exactly. It's a, we're at the age now where, good on you.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing. So sometimes I'll just go like a week and a half, and I'll be like, man, I don't think I've jerked off in a while. And I'm like,
And then
maybe I
you
should
kind of
do
feel
that.
obligated.
Yeah, then you feel
know.
obligated. Then
Does
it's
it still work?
Then it's a lot of pressure. Then it's an awful lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I better make this worth it. It's been 10 days.
Yeah.
So you're looking for the right thing to put you in the mood.
Light some
I mean, you
candles.
light some candles. You turn on some Barry White, and
Buy yourself some flowers.
yeah, maybe make myself dinner even.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and put some nice lotion on my hand to take care of him.
Something with lavender.
Yeah.
So it's
calming,
relaxing.
Very calming, very relaxing. Make sure that you're in a room with a very neutral color, like a pink or a yellow or something.
Yeah.
And just set the mood. And then
Just go to town on it.
give yourself the best 30 seconds of your life, you know?
Exactly. Well, those lavender lotions, who can?
Who can resist?
Yeah, who's going to keep up with that?
All right. So anyway, Adam, you told me, was your bathroom epiphany, was that the toilet paper line?
It was.
So you called it that, a bathroom epiphany. And I said,
Yes.
wow.
Yeah, you thought it'd be a lot better than that.
Normally
but
my epiphanies do not come in the bathroom.
no. But this was not. I wasn't in a high thought period.
Okay.
I'm just standing there in the bathroom, trying to get everything done so that I can go about my day.
Go about your day.
And I was distracted by that for the whole rest of the day.
It just ate at you. See,
Yeah.
Welcome to my brain, only picture that times 10. I tell people my brain operates like this. I have 27 TVs in my brain, all tuned to different channels, but randomly some of them will just be static.
And then you're watching the hamster in a wheel over in the corner.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them's like the old classic WWF wrestling, and another one might be sports, and then another one might be, I don't know, random shit I've seen. Do you know that in dreams, you can't actually make up people's faces in your dreams? Anyone in your dreams with a face will be someone you've seen before, their facial features and everything. Your brain can actually concoct somebody's face that you don't know or have never seen in your dreams.
Can it be somebody that you just happen to walk by, like at the airport?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't recognize those people.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't. I mean, you just walked by them for a
Right.
brief moment.
Right.
I never got the hang of making balloon animals. It really bothers me. Do you know how to
What-
make balloon animals? Can you make like anything on a balloon?
I can twist a couple balloons. I can make an X.
I
Does
have-
that count?
I
I
can
have-
make a snake.
There you go.
There you
Perfect.
go. A worm.
Wade is an expert at snakes and worms. So for all your party needs, call Wade for balloon animals. Snakes and worms for everyone.
It's called I Got Worms.
That's right. It's called I Got Worms. So I've always been bothered by that. I can't actually tie balloons very well because I've got these big sausage fingers that they're not very dexterous,
I could probably make balloon animals. I mean, I've tried a few times with
We
having a
should
bunch
try.
of nieces
This should be an
and
activity.
nephews.
This should be an activity for our live. We should just bring a bunch of balloons and see who can make balloon animals or give it a try.
We could have a contest for make a balloon. Best balloon animal wins a shirt.
Yeah, I like that. What do you think, Wade?
I had a friend in high school that knew how to do it.
That could make anything. Like, and you watch these people, and they're making these random twists, and then they always make sure that it's a big reveal at the end that you don't know what it is until the very last.
Yeah, and then they like pull on one piece of a balloon and it makes a tail for the dog, and
Yeah.
you're like, wow.
Holy shnikes.
In Wedding Crashers, that got those guys a lot of chicks. I would imagine that balloon animal.
We should learn to make balloon animals then.
Well, we should really teach you how to do it well.
Yeah.
I mean, I got 20-some years under the belt of
marriage,
being
yeah.
married, so
Wedded bliss.
I will just have to help you.
I served 10 years of marriage already. I know
Yeah.
what it's about.
Yeah, but I can live vicariously through you in balloon animal scoring.
So basically, send us your feedback. If making balloon animals will get me laid, then yes, it's something I definitely want to pursue. Woodcock.
Oh, it's great to have a peanut gallery back
It really is. It
Yeah.
really is. Normally it was just you and I sitting here talking,
with the TVs all on.
yeah, just for effect in the
Yeah,
background.
make it sound like we were somewhere important.
We are at the Silver Tavern in Deckerville. Wonderful establishment. Our home base.
Can we technically consider them a penis gallery?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's more fitting.
I can no longer say that every episode has been recorded here, though, because last Thursday we did a quick trip from, I was in my dining room, and you were in your office.
I was in my office. Yeah, it was an experience.
It was quite an experience. I don't know how I feel about it.
No, I mean it was fun to do, as they all are. But there was something different about just not being somewhere. And
It's you got to feed off of each other's energy,
right.
and I know that. I understand that.
And digital energy coming over the internet is different.
Yeah, it's like jerking off.
Yeah.
Episode 2, drink. Cheers. Cheers. There we go. We'll get to that segment. And you know what? I've got A1 sitting right there.
Yes! Yes! A1! Fuck A1!
Yes! See? How do you feel about A1, the sauce?
I don't feel like it should be touching my steak at all.
It should never touch a steak. We have derived that. But
I do like it on a burger or mixed in with the burger. You know,
Okay.
that's
someone suggested on macaroni and cheese.
macaroni and cheese. And I'll tell you what, when you order eggs and hash browns,
Yeah.
don't get ketchup. Get A1.
Yeah.
It's so
It's
good
more-
on hash
And if I'm
browns.
being honest, I don't think I've actually ever had A1. I've just had my steak, salt and pepper, maybe onions.
Hey, Ronnie, bring us a shot of A1.
Oh, Lord.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, you're going to get one now. You know you are.
Am I going to have to do a shot of A1?
I hope so.
You know, when we were younger, my one friend in high school, we would get the shot glasses out and we'd do shots of vinegar until one of us threw up.
We made a concoction one time when I was younger. We found like coffee at like 2 a.m. that had been brewed that morning. And we put that in a jug, and then we put like grapefruit juice and anything we could find, pickled juice, anything we could find in
Just
there.
the nastiness, huh?
Yeah, and then we drew straws for who had to drink it. And it did cause a vomiting,
Of course.
and then nobody else would touch it.
Induces vomiting.
Yeah,
Epicac.
it was. It was probably 100 times worse than that, but it was a good time.
What about you, Wade? Any stupid shit when you were a kid as far as drinks, food? General nastiness. I don't care.
Oh, I wasn't that kind of kid growing up. I was keep my nose clean, play hockey until I got into college.
Yeah. I can understand.
Yeah.
And that's when I blacked out and tried to go into somebody else's apartment.
I love that story. I do love that story. Yes. I remember you telling me that and me just rolling.
Yeah, I think I had just turned 21. I was out at the bars and I didn't get kicked out of the bar. I've never been kicked out of the bar, but I
Yeah.
got denied entry for being
Denied
too
entry.
drunk.
Sounds like my love life.
I was angry too. You can't come in here. I'm like, why not? I've got my IDs. You're too drunk. And I'm like, you know, that's a good point.
We're just doing a podcast.
But
Yeah, I've
Let's do it online.
I've been close to being denied being in a bar. I went out of a bar that I was playing at, my band was playing at, and when I went to come back in, there, you know, it was a pretty big bar, and we'd never played there before, and the bouncer's like, you can't come back in. I'm like, I'm playing, and yes, I'm pretty drunk, but it's going to be real quiet in that bar if I don't come back in. So they eventually let me in, but I had to get one of the guys in the band to come let me, talk to him and let me in.
oh, see, I couldn't do that. I could barely stand. He said, "You're too drunk. You can barely stand." I'm like, that's a good point. I got my ride back to my apartment, and I lived in these townhomes that were just cookie cutter. They all looked the same. So I walked up to my porch, and my key wasn't working in the door. So I saw my neighbor's light on. I knocked on their door, and then I woke up in bed.
So this reminds me of my friend is a dick.
My
and
friend
here's
is a
why.
dick, and here's why.
So we were at a friend of mine's bachelor party.
So this is the official. Yes, okay, go ahead.
And a mutual friend of ours got so drunk that he could no longer sit on a chair. So we had him sitting on the floor next to us.
It takes a lot of talent to be so drunk you can't sit on a chair.
Yeah. I mean, he'd literally just either fall over or slide out of it. So the bouncer comes up and he's like, if you can't get him off the floor, you guys got to leave.
Yeah.
So, of course, we're not leaving because we had tequila shots coming. And it
Because-
was at that point of the night.
Because frick that, right?
Yeah. So we put him in a chair, and another buddy of ours took his belt off, and we strapped him to the chair,
It's resourceful.
and then put drinks in front of him, and he's sitting there trying to drink, just spilling them all over himself. So we were collectively dicks.
Collectively, we were all dicks that night.
Yeah. I mean, we had to find somebody with a belt, and then it was like, oh, yeah, take your belt off. We're strapping him to this chair. And he was still, like, all hunched over and slumped over, but the belt held up.
But it was good enough.
It was.
See,
And the bouncer kept walking by, and he's just kind of snickering because you could clearly see that he's belted into the chair. And they were kind of high back chairs,
Yes.
so it was like right underneath his armpits so that he'd stay fairly vertical.
Necessity is the mother of invention, by the way.
Yeah. We had it woven through the spokes in the back of it.
You guys thought about this a lot then.
Oh, we did.
It
It was-
wasn't some haphazard fucking way. Oops, sorry, Mom. Way of going about it.
You're,
I guess I'm in for one more episode. Sorry,
yeah.
listeners.
Way to go. Way to go. Now it
Sorry,
ruins it for
Mom.
everybody.
Sorry, Mom.
That's
If
why
you're
we
here-
can't have nice things.
If you're here for Phil's F-bombs, you can just stop now.
Well, fuck it. I might as well just unleash the fury now.
Okay, well, all right. Click play again. If you hit pause a minute ago, hit play again now.
No, I'll just do those two. Oh,
Just those two?
I'm going to appeal to the board, and hopefully my mother sees that I can maybe be eligible for parole.
At the end of the podcast, we'll say Phil successfully didn't say an F word, because that way if she starts listening at the beginning and then
Ooh,
fast forwards to the
ooh.
end.
That's how
Yeah.
I used to do every book report in school. I'd read the first 5 pages, 5 in the middle, and then the last 5.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
you did book reports in school. I didn't need that shit to pass.
I don't. Well, to be fair, you always had to turn something in,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I'd make stuff up,
yeah.
you know.
Ooh, see, I did that once. I like came up with something. Obviously, it's not my personality, but some big story, because I don't ever do that. And the teacher actually is like, I've never heard this take on this before. She's like, this is amazing. And I'm like, holy shit! I was just talking about an episode of Beavis and Butthead I saw.
I got told one time when I turned something in that the book that I wrote about didn't exist. And because I went through and I forgot I had to do it.
Yeah.
And I go through and I'm like, all right, just going to open a page and I'm going to start reading. And the name sounded Greek to me, so I thought it was like a mythology
Yeah.
type of thing. So I start writing all about,
Greek
what I know
mythology?
in my head about Greek mythology, which was not, it was a book about some mice. So I'm like,
Tell me about the rabbits again, George.
yes. So I'm like, yeah. So I basically got called up to the front of class and, did you read this? And be honest, because I know the answer. I'm like, then you probably shouldn't ask the question.
What a dick move, though, to call you in front of the class like
yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, it was quiet. I got
Yeah.
I got called up to the desk.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a dick move.
Fun fact about Phil. I've never, ever read a book over 100 pages in my life.
I have, but I could count the number of
Yeah.
books that I've done that
I
with
don't
on
read books, but I read
like 3 fingers.
I read media, I read news articles, I read
read
I know how to read.
I read a lot of technical documentation. As
Yeah.
terrible as that sounds, I will read a manual front to back.
Yeah.
and be riveted by it.
That
But
was-
you throw like War and Peace in front of me, and I'm out in 3 pages.
That's actually me when I graduated from college with my engineering degree. At my little gathering afterwards, I got up in front of everybody and gave a little speech. Said, here's the funny part about me. I'm actually illiterate.
See, I used to read for fun
No.
until I got
screw
into
that.
law school.
Oh yeah, that would ruin that.
So
in a
I just say
heartbeat.
I
I
just
can
read for
read.
pain.
Yeah,
It's just pain. reading.
Woodcock.
I can understand that. When you get to a certain level of having to read all the time, it would totally ruin all reading.
Well, for law school, you had to read like crazy. The one night I'm sitting there, he's like, oh, I just got to do like 100 more pages. I'm like, 100 more pages? Hockey's on and we're drinking beer, man.
Yeah, I had at the very least, I'd have like 100 to 150 pages to read a week,
Yeah.
if not more a night. But,
We had some good times in Lansing.
oh yeah, we had some good times. Like me wearing my Red Wings jersey to a very punk alternative bar and feeling completely out of place. Standing out like a sore red thumb.
My wife has an album of pictures at home that include a lot of Phil at around 1920 probably.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
That's fascinating, I bet.
There's a fantastic one of you in like some weird glasses, a hat, and a full-length trench coat.
And I think I have a BB gun in my hands,
You
too.
do. You do.
That was very distasteful at the time because it was just after Columbine.
And yet, still pretty funny.
Still funny. I remember that. I have some weird wig on and
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
Confederate soldier hat. And
Yep.
see, I remember this random stuff.
And, I don't remember a lot of those pictures because that was at a time when just didn't remember a lot.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the one market had the big Sasquatch carving, the wood Sasquatch carving
Yeah.
out there in Croswell? Mm-hmm. I've got a picture of me bending over in front of it like it's actually raping me somewhere. and it's classic. Because it had its hand out.
Was it raping?
Yeah.
Well, it's not rape, it's willful.
There was consent.
So,
Yeah.
So I didn't realize he would actually animate and rape me. I thought it was just a piece of wood, but it was a very terrible tactical
Obviously,
decision.
there was a piece of wood involved.
There
He
was
was just used
something.
to the wood, right?
There were splinters, man. Oh, the splinters.
Oh, well, that's enough.
I'm going to find that picture. You need to take a picture of it and put it as one of the episode. Yeah.
That would be pretty fantastic. That might have to be a thing, because I've got some pretty incriminating pictures as well.
We also have a picture of one of our friends who decided to moon the camera, and someone had a slice of Velveeta cheese and slapped it on his ass cheek just as we took the picture. So he actually has a slice of cheese on his ass.
There's a few pictures of one of our friends mooning the camera a few times.
Yeah.
It's probably the same person that I'm thinking of.
I think it is. Oh.
And
One of my friends in high school, he had an S10 pickup. And he's a tall guy, but he had a sliding rear window. He could actually moon people up the rear slider while he was driving.
Wow.
That's talent. You know, he's the guy that was riding with me my old Buick down to pick up my sister at Eastern Michigan University, and he kept mooning people the whole drive. And I look later the next day, like the sun's coming through, his ass prints were literally on every window in the back. And I'm like, I got pressed hams on every window in my damn back of my car.
Oh, that's pretty good, though.
Why did I get pink eye 6 times?
I
Just
don't understand. It keeps coming back.
flatchophobia.
I mean, I rub my face on the windows, but I don't get it.
I lick them sometimes too.
I sit in the back and lick the windows eating Pop-Tarts that are freshly off the defrost.
That was the car that happened in too.
Well, have you seen
Way to tie it together.
the commercial on TV?
For Pop-Tarts?
Pop-Tarts Bites.
Yeah, I've had
they-
them before.
And they're warming them. They must listen to the podcast. They are warming them on the defrost. No joke. No joke.
Hey, we're trendsetters here at the PNA Podcast
We
Express.
are. No episode 2.
By
Nobody
the
will
way-
ever be able to watch a second episode of anything without
By the
drinking.
way, we're one of the top-rated podcasts in Antarctica. Can confirm.
Yes.
We have listeners in Antarctica. Thank you.
It's cold there.
It's cold there.
Like all the time.
We love you, listeners. Thanks. That's the same listener that actually gave me the spiel for our Yankee Doodle Dandy podcast,
Yeah.
which is a classic. That's one
Yeah.
of the highly rated ones. I go on a rant against, pretty much Great Britain.
Yeah. It's a good rant. I mean, and rightly so, those limey bastards.
I know. God, the nerve. Come to us and ask for our hand in World War II. Jesus.
Bloody arseholes.
Still pissed about it.
You know, I just want to bring something up real quick. It's almost whatever time of the day it is,
Yeah.
and it's still light out.
This is beautiful, isn't it?
I noticed this morning going to work, which is pre-7 o'clock, that it was getting daybreak.
Yeah.
As I was pulling up to work.
The days get longer. It's just nice. Sunshine is amazing.
It is, and to have it,
Drink.
Normally I get out of work at 3:30.
Episode 2.
So
Yeah.
normally I get home and I have like 30 minutes of daylight left
Right.
before it starts getting dark.
It's just depressing.
Yeah, it's nice to drive home without the sun in the rearview mirror,
Yeah.
and it'll be really nice to drive to work and have it be daylight.
Touche.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm a night person, so I don't really get much of the daylight anyway.
I'm kind of a night person too, but having to get up and go to work at those times has kind of made me not as much of a night person. But everybody I go to work with is like, "Oh man, I went to bed at like 7:30 last night. What time did you go to bed?" 11:30, midnight.
See, I can't sleep before midnight ever.
Yeah, I have a
And-
hard time too.
And, my ball buster of a boss now is like, you should be in earlier. I'm like, I'll get here when I get here, man. I'll put in my 8 hours. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
So I'm a night shift bartender.
Stop it.
I wake up at noon or 1 to go into work, and I don't get home or go to bed until like 3 or 4 in the morning. So sunlight is a luxury.
yeah.
I want to retire. I'm tired of the corporate world.
Me too.
It's chewed me up and spit me out. By
Got
the
it.
way, Wade is also, among my many endeavors, we are actually writing a sitcom show together.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
you're the one.
He's the one. Yeah. So I've got Mikey Smith for my sports stuff that I do. I've got Eddie for just being Eddie, and I've got
Yeah.
Adam as my podcast partner, and I've got this guy as my show writer.
Damn, you're going to be the next Ted Turner.
I hope to be half of what Ted Turner, a quarter, a tenth. I'll tell you what, Joe Rogan could give me $1 million right now and I'd go away.
Yeah. Speaking of which, if anybody would like to give us $1 million, we'll retire.
If you don't want us to do the show ever again because you despise us that much, all it costs you is $1 million, and we will never do an episode of this show again.
I would also suggest therapy
Yes.
because we're not that hateful.
See,
No.
that is something I've been thinking about too. Like all these billionaires, Elon Musk,
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos. You could ask them, like, hey, could you just like give me $2 billion? You won't even notice it.
Right. Right.
I bet no one's ever asked that.
Well, let's send them an email. We should send it
Yeah.
from find Jeff Bezos' email and send it from Pineapple Nipple Arsehole.
It's probably pineapple nipple arsehole at
No,
Amazon.com.
he actually got asshole, though.
Oh,
'cause he doesn't
probably,
get
yeah.
censored.
No.
Billionaires don't get censored.
No, he's got a full functioning Twitter account and everything.
Billionaires can do whatever they want.
So I bet no one's ever asked them, and they might just be like, no, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean, what do they got
I
to
like
lose?
you, kid. You got balls.
Yeah.
I could make you a billionaire, and I could still be the second richest man in the world.
That's right.
Why the hell not?
And then you can live out your dreams. Boats and hoes, baby.
Hell yeah. I'd start my own podcast with blow and hookers.
Hookers and blow. Hookers and blow.
Well, you'd probably get money too. So you'd have your podcast with hookers and blow, and mine would be blow and hookers.
Yeah. And we'd
'Cause
be
we wouldn't-
rivals. We'd be
Yeah,
rivals.
Rivals.
We'd be like, they were once together, then became billionaires. Now, it's the fiercest rivalry in the podcast game.
Which would still be like we'd still star in each other's podcasts, which,
Yeah.
you know, because I don't think there's a lot of big rivalries.
There aren't. Maybe this is something we should explore.
Wait.
Maybe there aren't enough podcast rivalries.
Just start some beefs
You know
with
what?
some
Hey,
random
hey,
podcast.
F you, Joe Rogan.
I was just going to say, Joe Rogan, you could just kiss my ass.
And Two Bears, One Cave, Bert Kreischer,
Yeah.
suck my balls.
Yep. And the Not Your Mama's podcast with Segura and that blonde
Christina
chick.
P., who's
Yeah.
his wife, who's terrible, but yes.
Yeah. They could suck it too. If any of you
right.
guys want to get in a rivalry, you just send us a check.
Or if you want to bring us into your umbrella of podcast, because that's what you do, please.
We'll take everything
Yeah.
back.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'll offer a retraction, but I'll never take back what I said.
Okay. That I'm sure somewhere that makes sense. I mean,
It doesn't.
can we get legal counsel on that?
Doesn't even make sense to me. I can't follow that one.
Damn it. Can't you come up with something? What are we paying you for?
Nothing yet.
Shit.
You're getting paid?
That's double what we can afford.
No. One of my friends, she just said, so my day was terrible today. I took a nap and got a massage. She's like, now I'm probably my friend's a dick and here's why candidate. We already had that segment, and I know you're going to listen tonight, so thanks, Melanie.
Oh. That's just awful. But she did bring you green bean casserole. So
She
how mean
did.
can you be?
So here's the green bean casserole epiphany. Apparently, that is considered tater tot casserole.
What, she brought you?
Yeah, but it has green beans in it.
See, I need to make you my green bean casserole. Phil has a thing hating green bean casserole. And
It's garbage. You take all of these wonderful ingredients that on their own are just rock stars, and then you can combine them, and they become just dog shit. I don't understand it.
not when I put them together, but like your green bean casserole, you're talking about putting milk in it? What the hell would put runny-ass milk in green bean casserole?
What the hell do you put in green bean casserole anyway? To make it taste like battery acid in a dog's butthole.
I have to say I'm with Phil on this one. I don't like green bean casserole whatsoever.
Is there something about smoking crack that makes you hate green bean casserole? Is that what the deal is?
PCP.
Oh, okay.
The whole gallon of it.
Things are a little methy around here.
I think I was exposed to that in Nam. I'm not old enough to have gone to Nam, but
It
Yeah.
was just a really good vacation.
I was there on a tour.
I've been to Poland. Aren't they close?
Close enough.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you got to go through one to get to the other.
Poland is the Vietnam of Europe.
Yeah, definitely. Well, maybe even a little worse.
Could be.
Based on some of the tours we went on while we were there, I maybe a little worse.
And over here, you'll see, and you're like, I don't want to see that. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. It was really...
I went on this tour one time where they were pointing out like where literary, when I was in Philadelphia, literary things happen. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't read books. Like, this is where this poem was written. I'm like, poems are terrible.
Yeah. They can't even. A poem isn't even a book on its own. It's got to have a bunch of friends.
And then the poem that they gave me didn't even rhyme. I'm like, then they talking about haikus and everything else, and I'm like, eat my ass, haiku.
Haiku, isn't he a baseball player you were talking about earlier?
Yeah. That actually might have been a haiku. Eat my ass, haiku.
I think they're 5 lines.
Eat my ass. Wait, eat my ass, haiku. Period.
There you go. If you say it like that, it fits. Does that pass the
I
legal
don't
litmus test?
understand poetry. I understand it, but
I know what a haiku is. It's 3 lines, 5 syllables, 7 syllables.
correct. That is the correct. Yes, that is a haiku. Yes, I knew what a haiku is. Just didn't care. See, I started a haiku, then I gave it up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Insert rest of haiku here.
But I also put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
If you have written a haiku,
Send it to us at pineapple-nipple-arsehole
we will read it
at gmail.com.
and then we will ridicule it. They know.
Easy over there, Morgan Wallen.
Ain't no W in our email.
Woo! So we are live here at the Silver Tavern, by the way. Well, live when we're recording this. When you listen to us, hopefully we're not dead.
Well, we'll still be
I would
alive.
hope not.
Yeah. Damn, that's just, I did myself dirty with that thought right there.
Took yourself down a dark road there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been, a few of my podcasts have been fairly dark. A couple of weeks ago, we had a couple. It was pointed out to me. They're like, Phil, you're not really in a good place right now. And I'm like, Phil's typically not in a good place, but right now I'm in a worse place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you might want to stop wearing Detroit sports team stuff.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
terrible.
God.
Dark times here in the D.
I mean,
Detroit.
we don't talk a lot of sports on the podcast either, but my God,
This is not a sports podcast.
does it get any worse than what Detroit sports has to offer right now?
Hey, the Wings won 1 game this weekend.
So was it?
They won their 3rd game.
So was it last year or the year before? Michigan, Detroit set the record for most losses by a town that has all 4 major sports teams.
Yeah.
They combined their losses.
Yes, we did.
Most. Terrible.
We have an 0-16 football team. We have a baseball team that has the 2nd most losses ever. And the Pistons are probably going to threaten for the most losses by an NBA team.
I mean,
And the Wings are going to come in dead last for a 2nd year in a row.
my work life is horrible. My love life is horrible. I can't even get myself off anymore. And now I got to deal with Detroit sports being this horrible.
Yeah, and I would dare say you're sharing too much right now.
I have a tendency to do that, don't I? I've been told
It's
that
okay.
a time or two.
It's entertainment.
Yeah, this is a persona.
Yeah. The real Phil can totally get himself off.
Oh, Jesus. Right in your face if you want me to.
Real quick, because I know myself.
Yeah. I know what I like. That was good. Good addition there.
But yeah, keep sharing.
I've been told that. They're like, no, don't change it. Actually, that was the comment of one of our listeners. Like, wow, man, you really overshare. I'm like, all right, I should probably stop. They're like, no.
If nothing else, if you come away with nothing else from this podcast, you should feel pretty damn good about yourself. Because if you find any of this ridiculous,
It is.
You're pretty spot on. You're right on the path where you need to
But
be.
life is ridiculous, though. That's what we're just trying to point out here. It's a big hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It is a exercise in hypocrisy. Yes.
Think about us being born and the selection that is. I mean, you could have been born to billionaire parents. You could have been born to star athletes. You could have been born to actresses, actors. You could have been born to crackheads. Who gets to decide? And then you have to deal with that for the rest of your life. And you know what? That's why I jerk off so much.
We'll just leave that awkward silence in there. I was going to say something,
You
and
thought
I'm like,
I was going somewhere with that, didn't you?
yeah, I was going to say something, and I'm like, no, this deserves awkward silence for just a moment.
It's a
Right.
moment
Just
of
a moment.
silence.
Yeah.
But anyway, life is ridiculous if you think about it.
Although, for all the ladies listening out there, if Phil can do this for himself, just imagine what he can do for you.
Oh, send your emails to pnapodcastexpress@gmail.com. That's painful nut allergy podcastexpress@gmail.com. Or pineapple nipple arsehole@gmail.com. That's arsehole, just like it sounds, ARSE, hole.
Hole. Oh. So, yeah, and attention, Phil.
Yeah.
I may not want to see what's in some of these. No dick pics.
Yeah, always no dick. Although the mosaics are coming along nicely.
Yeah.
Obama's already done. The rest of the presidents we're still trying to fill out.
Oh, our audience kind of goes to that.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about all the dicks in the world. And if you have a black dick that's probably big, you're going to take pictures of it. So they're very readily available online.
For Obama, though, you almost need a lot of swarthy dicks. Not full black, but just swarthy.
Yeah, well, it was tough. There's some in between. So some might be Asian dicks. I didn't do the research, but...
Well, they'd be for the more finer features.
Yeah. That's, like the whites of the eyes and everything else.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, the dick mosaics of all the presidents are coming along nicely, just to let you know.
Excellent. We'll be having a
gallery
show
unveiling.
In the gallery.
Yes. I mean, all 46 presidents immortalized with dicks as a mosaic.
So we do have one thing that we want to bring up.
Uh-oh.
Tentatively, and I believe this will happen now, on February 20th, we will be having our first live show. It's Saturday, February 20th. That is a week from this Saturday at the Silver Tavern.
Woodcock! I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous.
Well, you hear...
Excuse me. Episode 2. These people are savages.
Yeah, well, you hear what assholes we got in here right now, and just imagine when we just kind of open up to everybody. I mean the other ones, the other assholes.
We'll just call this place the assholery.
Yes, arseholery.
The arseholery. Yes, we'll get censored on that one.
I didn't mean to call you guys assholes. I meant arseholes.
You got to be sober to be on this show.
A .08 or less.
To start. That's a new rule. I'm sorry. You have to be below the legal limit at the start of the show. If you get drunk during the show, that's on you, buddy.
It sounds like a school of rock rules.
It is.
Bullshit.
Part of another terrible show. Well, everybody else is great on the show. I'm terrible. I'm on several things. I'm on lots of different things.
Well, a lot of people want you on with them to make them sound better.
That's it.
Yes.
It could very well be that my life just serves as to be a warning to others.
Yes. I think
agree
there's
with
a
that
poster with a sinking ship on it that says
That's
that.
the motivational poster. Some of my favorite things ever.
Oh,
Could just be
absolutely.
used as a bad example.
Yeah, that's right. I love the one with the two people running. The woman's way in front, and he's like, and I think it just says, "F it, man, just let her go." That's the best one.
My favorite one, it has a picture of a carton of McDonald's fries, and it just says, "Not everybody can be a rocket scientist."
Not everybody can be a rocket scientist. The world needs ditch diggers.
Yes, or the one with the used-up pencil that says, "Just keep working. Your company will use you until there's nothing left."
That's right. So my favorite thing is always to go around to my coworkers and ask, "Hey, do you have any whiteout? Seems like you probably make a lot of mistakes."
I saw a meme.
For those of you from the 90s, you'll know what whiteout is. Everybody else, it's just the delete key on your fucking keyboard. Oops, there's the third one.
Oh, jeez, oh, Pete. Now we're gonna really have to play it up thick at the end of the episode to get her to think that you didn't swear.
Sorry, Mom.
So there's a meme out there that says, it's got a guy handing another guy a card, and it says, "I got my friend a Get Better card. He's not sick. I just think he could do better."
Just pedestrian effort.
Yeah.
That's the number one. That's why I'm a dick a lot of times too. Like somebody will do something that's outstanding. I'll be just like, "Oh, it's pedestrian effort. Just pedestrian."
Yeah. I always tell people, thanks for phoning that in.
Yeah. Could you have tried harder? Jesus.
Yeah. Maybe if you'd have done that sooner, we wouldn't be in the situation.
We wouldn't be in this predicament.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because a lot of times, let's face it, if somebody does something that's really great to get you out of a situation, it's because somebody else did something
To get you into
really
the situation.
bad to get you into that situation, and they're usually the same person.
And we would have gotten away with it had it not been for those meddling kids.
Yes.
Ah!
Very true.
Always serves true. I don't know. So, anybody had a karate kick to the crotch this week?
Can't say that I have.
Wade has not had a karate kick to the crotch.
I'm
Well-
not volunteering either.
Okay.
By the end of this, he'll say, I got invited on a podcast,
And
and this
here's
is what happened.
I'm going to leave with a T-shirt.
So,
I got karate kicked in the crotch this week from P&A Podcast.
that's a good T-shirt.
It is.
Yeah. So you see what happened was.
All I got was this lousy T-shirt. P&A Podcast.
Oh, can I throw in another My Friend's a Dick, and here's why.
Go ahead, yeah, two. Let's double down.
So here's our double dickin' for the night.
The double dickin'. I saw a
So-
movie like that once.
I had a friend, and this is absolutely horrible, but hilarious. When we were in high school, he wore a shirt to school that said, "My grandma went to Auschwitz," and all I got was this dang T-shirt.
Oh, that's brutal.
my
They made him take it off.
Oh, that's
But
brutal.
when he was
I mean,
being
I
told to
hope
take it
so.
off, it was a history teacher that told him to take it off.
Yeah.
And you could tell there was a little admiration there just because he applied that the way he did,
Yeah.
but also a lot of disgust.
That's my favorite part of one of the Family Guy episodes is they showed the Jewish people building the pyramids as slaves. And one says, well, at least us Jews are getting this persecution out of the way early.
Are you talking about religion?
I'm like, holy crap.
Hey,
Hey!
not in the bar.
Yeah, this guy interviews me and kicks me out of his exclusive clubs because he finds out my religion, so.
Lack thereof would be more like
He doesn't like Scientology?
Apparently not. Yeah, he said, I'm like, I'd be part of your club. Nobody ever asked me to join. He's like, we don't let that in. I'm like, wow, religious persecution.
Dang.
I'm like, harsh.
Are you sure?
Harsh.
Are they sure they just don't mean hardcore masturbators?
That could be. Maybe they themselves masturbate harder than I do.
Probably to the podcast.
Yeah. Furiously. Well, apparently looking at pictures of Adolf Hitler.
You know, I look up there; they're all facing away from us at the bar. I'm pretty sure you can hear like a if you listen real close. Is that right? Just nod.
Kapow, Woodcock!
Now, nod approvingly.
Oh, yeah?
Boy, I'll tell you, if you come out Saturday on the 20th, if you come out on the 20th, you're going to have a lot of fun.
You're going to have more fun, probably the most fun you could possibly have with your clothes on.
Maybe, and those might not even stay all on.
Could we have
I would
another one
think.
of those, sir, please? I love you. You know I do.
Where you keep your clothes on?
You want some wiener work? Dee-dee-dee-dee.
Oh boy, there was a visual that went along with that. Just be happy we don't video this thing.
We're not on Facebook Live.
No, we are not.
We've thought about doing that at some point, but
I could have went into broadcaster mode and been like, Phil sticks out the fingers. And,
gently massages the balls.
oh boy,
Yeah. So the counts, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
2 strikes to 1 ball. Is
You see?
that what the situation was?
God, I had something I wanted to talk about. Ah, shit, I've been talking, I guess.
You didn't tell me to remind you.
You're right. So, to be fair, I feel like we owe this to our listeners. We kind of had the closest thing we've ever had to a pre-show meeting yesterday. Because Adam and I talked on the phone about scheduling, not about the show, just about scheduling. And here's what Adam did. Remind me, he said, I need you to do something for me for the podcast tomorrow night. I'm like, oh God, no. And he's like, you need to remind me of my bathroom epiphany. And I'm like, gosh damn it, now we just had a pre-show meeting.
Yeah, it was the first, and luckily you did not have to remind me.
Right.
So it didn't go any further than that. I swear. We
Okay.
did not.
No responsibilities for Phil.
No.
Thank
A
God.
complete lack thereof.
But I just had to get that off my brain because I feel like our listeners are owed that. If anything, even though oh, whoa! Now he's sitting on my lap and pouring my beer. Thank you, sir. If anything, our podcast is terrible, but at least it's honest.
Yeah, that is true. That
Yeah.
is true.
Drink it. It's good for you, son. You see?
Pork chopping everyone.
Pork chop in a pork. Thank you, sir. This is the nicest thing anybody's done for us all day.
It is.
That is one of our longtime listeners and fans of the show, and he will be a guest someday.
Unlike Phil, he makes sure that he does not throw a ton of foam in your cup.
For someone who's supposed to be a bartender,
Mr.
that was
Jason
a lot
McConaughey.
ahead.
Phil, I used to bartender with our special guest tonight, but you'd never know it by how I pour a beer.
Pour it straight down into the glass.
I wasn't thinking about said beer.
Watch the abomination.
Oh, that beer was so flat, too. Jeez, oh, Pete.
The alcohol abuse.
You guys are killing
That's
me over
against
here.
my religion.
Speaking of religion, no. We did actually talk about religion a fair amount
Well,
tonight.
we referenced,
It was reference.
yeah, but it was not discussed.
It wasn't
Danced around.
It wasn't the nuts and bolts of
It was not a major part of the conversation. It was an important side note.
right. So one of my favorite memes ever shows the Holy Redeemer, and it just says Medusa 1, Jesus 0. I just think that brilliant. I mean, that kind of comedy is definitely
Yeah.
definitely gets me. Just
Oh,
grabs me.
I could go into a few of those bits too, but I'm
I bet Mr. McConaughey's joining us over here now to sit. We can probably hear you because you don't talk quietly. As he says nothing.
well. He just sips on his beer. Cool as a cucumber.
Cool as a cucumber.
Obviously not intimidated by our celebrity.
Oh, our celebrity, our largesse.
I think there's going to be at least 2 of listeners tonight. 2 to 3s of listeners.
I know. Are you going to listen to the show still, even though you've already heard most of it?
Yes, absolutely.
It's a whole different experience.
Inspire your guest host that's already here. Like, he needs to talk more and you need to talk less. That's why he's here.
That's adequate. All right. The floor is all yours, Wade.
On the spot, thank you.
No pressure. Just make sure that it's entertaining and that everybody likes what you say.
You have to be charming.
Oh, good.
You
Just
have to be
those
funny.
things?
Yep.
Yeah. Very engaging, too.
Very engaging. Okay,
Yeah.
that's...
Make love to this podcast with your words.
Yeah, not right now.
Say something about Tom Brady.
That my dad has a huge crush on him?
That'll work. Say something about Phil. We all know that nobody has a crush on Phil.
That is true.
Like our New Year's Eve getting drunk at the pub thing?
I ended up
Mr. Santa suit?
getting drunk just after midnight, going out to my car, grabbing my Santa suit, and dancing at the party dressed up as Santa New Year's Eve.
Damn.
You kept loading me with shots that night.
I didn't get laid that night.
I'm pretty sure when somebody loads you with shots that you're kind of a willing participant.
Oh, I absolutely was willing. But
Yeah.
he gave me a lot more than I was expecting to. I had to go take a break. I had to go sit down.
That's something that nobody's ever said about Phil, that they gave him a lot more than he was expecting.
Whoa! Normally it's the opposite. I mean, 1.5 stars. Would not recommend.
Worst Uber rating of ever.
His whole the back windows of his car all had pressed hams on them.
Why did I get pink eye riding in his car?
That's right. It smelled like ass. There were ass cheeks all over every window, and he just kept going on and on about masturbation.
I don't have high standards, but I expect my Uber drivers to wear pants.
I don't need Donald Duck driving my Uber.
Oh, boy.
I guess that's going to be my new career now, is driving an Uber.
Well, it sounds
with
like
no
it, 'cause-
pants on.
With no
Yeah.
pants on. Surprise!
and ass prints on all the windows.
And pink eye for all.
Yes. Pink eye all around.
Collective conjunctivitis.
Spreads through the nation.
That's right.
Well, you can ask people, would you like your antibiotic as a prophylactic before you hop in the vehicle or after as a preventative?
True.
Pick a side, aspirin or no aspirin.
That's
Yeah.
right. We were talking about repositories versus suppositories the other day.
We
you and I
were. We were.
So
Because
like,
there's a significant difference.
so basically, if you go to Simplecast, that's a repository for our episodes. But if you go anyplace else, our episodes become suppositories.
Well, once you listen to them,
then it's suppositories.
then it's a suppository, depending on where you keep your earbuds at.
But
I mean, lick 'em and stick 'em, fellas.
That's one of those things, though. I always confused repository and suppository when I was younger, and it made for some awkward book reports.
Yeah, that would. When President Kennedy was
Talking
shot
about
from the
JFK,
suppository,
exactly. That's exactly what I was. President Kennedy got shot from the suppository.
people are like, "Whoa, never heard this take." But now there's like 1,000 people out there that have a Facebook group. They're like, "This is exactly what happened. They shot right out of the guy's ass."
JFK got assassinated through the suppository, not the repository.
He
Huge
got
asshole kills Kennedy.
That's the takeaway.
he got assassinated.
Assassin has 2 asses in it.
Oh my God!
And then
Coincidence?
you'll have one of those, yeah, exactly.
I think not.
Yeah, from the 3rd floor of the book suppository.
Lee Harvey, the said
John
asshole.
Wilkes Booth. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's Lincoln.
I know.
Have you seen the meme going around that says, the movie Lincoln grossed this much money, $278 million, which is odd because Lincoln typically doesn't do well in theaters.
Classic. So I knew one of my comedian friends always made the joke of, checking your tires with a penny. Like, if you could see this much of Lincoln's head, then your tires are good. But if you could see the bullet hole, then you need to replace your tires. And I would always yell, "Too soon!"
Oh.
Yeah, she does say "too soon" a lot.
Yeah.
Welcome to my life. My life is a bigger train wreck than I describe, even, by the way.
I can agree with that. Yeah. Hence your 3rd game of bowling last week.
Oh, that was not good.
Oh, holy shit.
Excuse me. Episode 2 drink. Yes. My 3rd game of bowling was horrible last week on Tuesday night.
It was my best game, so I tried to pick you up. But, yeah,
I was dead weight. And let's face it, I weigh as much as an NFL lineman, so picking me up's tough.
Yeah. Carrying you on my shoulders was not the easiest
It was
thing
not a
ever.
Rudy.
Carry Phil out of a burning house.
It was not a Rudy moment. Yeah, you don't want a fireman carry me out of anything.
So, does anybody want to hear a crazy,
Anecdote?
morbid story?
Absolutely.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Always.
So, okay. So, friend of mine, friend of yours, who's a mortician, speaking about carrying a fat guy out of a burning house.
Woo!
So, he was told there was a shutdown of a crematorium in the area
Yeah.
because they had a new guy, and he didn't set things right when he had an extremely obese person go into the...
Oh.
So what happens when you get cremated is basically they start the fire, and then they turn it off because all your fat and everything is going to carry you through the process.
Just like a fine porterhouse steak on the grill.
Right. So they had like a 600-pound guy that they put in the crematory, and they set it for like, 175-pound guy.
They set it for medium rare.
So you know how like when you throw that fatty steak on the grill and it flares up, that's what happened, and it literally melted the thing down. They had like a chain reaction, and it melted the crematorium oven down. So, if you gonna be all right?
Imagine that blob. You're like, I wonder what's in there. You don't want to know.
When you expect to get ashes back to your loved one, you get a bunch of Ziploc bags back.
F it. I'm not going to be an archaeologist ever again.
So yeah, that's the thing that happens. But if you think about it this way, if you pack on a few pounds before you die, you're saving fuel.
Yeah.
They're going to shut that thing down.
You're a conservationalist.
Yes.
I mean, a friend of my dad's in high school used to work at a funeral home. He said he was working during the night at like 2 o'clock in the morning. One of the bodies just sat up on him.
I've heard
Ugh.
that the muscles will do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll move.
There's no way in hell I'd be doing that.
I'd be like, I'm out.
Our mutual friend who's a mortician, I kind of want to sneak into his place and
I hope
put
he listens.
a little speaker. I know he's listened before, yes.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I want to
you
put like
play-
a little
you play
speaker
poker
in there.
with him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to put like a little speaker in there and have it like be able to talk into it.
So no one should ever be surprised when morticians tell you morbid stories because they have to be morbid in the first place to become a mortician.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my
And
brother's
trust me, Jimmy Hacker, he came to Seattle for my wedding, and he was a riot.
Oh, absolutely.
I said his name, I'm sorry.
My
We
brother's
can
a
post
medic.
edit that out, right?
We won't, but we could, but we won't.
Nah, it's okay.
It would interrupt the flow, and it'd take work. I'm not into that.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Work
look.
sucks.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't want to look for that at the 58-minute and 23-second mark. It's okay.
Yeah, no. You were really close on that, by the way.
It's a good internal clock.
Yeah. I mean, you weren't right, but you were really close.
That sounds like every relationship I've ever been in. You
Yeah.
weren't right, but you were close.
Yeah, and, my brother's a paramedic, and to get into those type of, life and death or all death situations, I tell Mr. Hacker, I said, I seen you out at your field the other day. You are the worst farmer ever. You plant things, nothing grows. So, but my brother's a medic, and he's
You're burying
twisted
that
as hell,
stuff way
too.
too deep, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I never see him out there watering it or anything
I know.
like
You
that.
don't take care of it. Oh, Lord. Anyway, Wade, you're right. You've been contributing, but you're okay. You've done a nice job.
I'm just not trying to talk over anybody. Just
It's okay.
add my 2 cents.
It's okay. We appreciate that.
We do. And you're definitely going to have to come back on again as you get more comfortable with our flow.
More
which
acclimated.
We really don't have a flow, so it's kind of hard to get acclimated to it. But once you do, you'll be jumping in more, and I think it'll enhance our podcast. It definitely cannot make it worse.
Enhance.
I'll
Yeah.
get better. I just got to get more comfortable.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Phil was going to order a new headset,
Yeah.
and obviously
Phil
you're
didn't
wearing
get
the
it
same
done.
headset, so Phil lied to everybody.
Phil failed. Epic
Yeah.
fail on my part. I'm sorry once again to the listeners. Yes, I failed. I did not order the new headset this week. Maybe I'll try to. I'm sorry. You know me. I'm always honest. I shoulder blame well.
Yeah.
This is on me. I
Yeah.
done messed up. Sorry, Mom.
It's okay. I've already forgotten what you were talking about because I zoned you out. But
I'll have something to talk about with my therapist this week, though.
yeah,
About how I let people down.
yeah,
She'd be like, how many people did you let down? I'll be like, I don't know. Probably
Everybody.
at least a couple hundred.
yeah. Like 7 billion.
Yeah. Do you know what it's like to let 7 billion people down
I do.
collectively all at once? Unbelievable.
I do. I used to drive a Ford Raptor.
That's true.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a big truck. It's a obscene size F-150 that's like 8 inches wider than a normal F-150 and has a.
What year would that be?
I had a 2015.
Oh, geez.
Well, if you think about it, essentially fossil fuels are a renewable resource. You just have to wait long enough.
Well, if you kill
Got to
enough
make
people,
more fossils.
That's right. Make
If you-
more fossils.
if you kill enough people driving over them with your Ford Raptor,
Yeah.
you're doing the work that nobody
See,
else wants to do.
Here's the thing, though.
Sacrifice yourself for the fossil fuel movement.
So all these people buried in caskets is just preventing fossil fuels from being made. Give yourself back to
Yes.
the earth.
Yeah. Have yourself cremated. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, blob to blob.
Medium rare, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, put on a responsible amount of weight before you go get cremated.
Right. I mean, don't go crazy.
You would think they'd just fillet some of that off.
Could use it as clean burning lamp oil, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's got to be a use for it.
Soap.
Otherwise,
Remember?
why?
Soap.
Yeah. Just like in Fight
Fight
Club.
Club, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Broke the number one rule of Fight Club.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Damn
hell.
Brad Pitt's going to come in here and just
Bastard.
beat the living shit out of us.
Tyler Durden's going to beat the crap out of us.
Yeah.
You know, I had a friend that I worked at the aerospace company with, who insisted that my ex-wife insisted he was actually my Tyler Durden, that he didn't exist, because I would talk about him, she never met him, but he was like the kind of like the same dynamic as in that movie. Like he was the reckless side of me, and she's like, he's your Tyler Durden. I'm like, what?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Like you need one.
yeah.
I mean, you're like everybody else's Tyler Durden.
Pretty much. I'm everybody else's Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
That's a unique and that's an observation. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk for another minute or two, and then we'll get out of here because we're at a milestone. We hit that hour, and this is where people start to complain. The podcast is too long.
You guys really drug on talking about nothing. What are you
And our podcast is about nothing.
You know, I mean, you have a pause button. You can come back and listen in a little while.
Plus, it costs you so much money.
Right. I'm sure everybody's ridiculous. If you think about what you're paying per minute for this now,
Yeah.
it's a tremendous bargain.
It's infinity, man.
And we'll say hi to Melanie again because we hadn't, we said hi. We talked about her at the beginning of the episode, but
Yeah.
I know she's still listening.
Yeah.
So hi, Melanie.
Yeah. Hi.
Maybe nobody else, but she's still
Oh,
listening.
can I get $5 by saying "Daddy" for Scott?
Yes.
All right.
I actually collected on that on Super Bowl Sunday.
Nice.
He still owes me $2 though because he's a freeloader.
And of course, you can pay us $5 to either say your name or $5 to say up to 50 words of your choice, but we will not say them in the order you give them to us.
Right. It's going to be random and probably not flattering, but
We'll do our best. I mean, you can say pee-pee and poo-poo so many times in a row.
I'm going to put all the does together.
Yes. The.
And then just whatever random words you put in there after that.
Yeah, I like it. I like that approach.
Yeah, me too. I'm thinking that's going to be
Or
could be a big moneymaker.
Or maybe put them in alphabetical order.
And we will have the how long do we blow the dog whistle contest coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up too. I forgot about that one. I thought about that today.
And we need the topic top hat.
The topic top
We
hat.
need
yes.
topics for the
Send
topic
us
top hat.
topics for the topic top hat.
You forgot one already. You were given, you told me.
I was given alcohol may have been a factor in me not remembering, but
Yeah, well, you were fishing this weekend, so
it was a lot.
alcohol and cold. I mean, you had to drink to survive.
Yes, that's you know what? My sponsor doesn't see it that way, but it's okay.
Well, sponsors and therapists don't always get the big picture.
They don't. They don't see it's for the greater good.
Right.
It's
The greater good.
It's self-preservation.
Yeah. Phil is still here because of alcohol.
That's what my parents say.
It's a good thing my dad spent that $3 on that bottle of wine, or I
Boone's
wouldn't even
Farm.
be here.
Bottle of Boone's.
Boone's and some Mad Dog 2020.
Why is my middle name Boone?
Why'd you name my sister Strawberry Hill?
Now she's a stripper.
And she changed her name to Candy. Can't quite figure it
I
out.
don't understand. Doesn't compute.
Her middle name's Strawberry Hill, but she goes by Jessica
That's
to make
right.
it.
She's like, I'm tired of that name.
Yeah. That's a stripper name, so I'm going to call myself Jessica.
Jessica.
And I'm going
Now
strip.
to the stage, Jessica. Give it up.
I was at a wrestling tournament a few years ago, and the guy announcing had like the perfect stripper voice, like
Stripper DJ, yeah.
stripper DJ announcer. So there was a kid from Memphis coming up to wrestle, and he announced him like in his stripper voice.
Yeah.
And now to mat number 2.
You're like,
Let's give it up.
throw your dollars on the stage.
Yeah. Make it rain. It's Tyler.
Let your dick do the walking and your money do the talking.
It's Tyler Jones.
It's Tyler Jones. Oh, let's wrap this thing up. This has been a great episode of the P&A podcast. Well,
It has.
great in my mind. Wade, you were great. I'm sorry I was dog crap, but it's okay.
Well, I mean, that's what people tune in for.
All right, so thanks for listening. He's Wade Holcomb. I'm Phil Nickel. Thanks for being our guest. He's
Yeah, no
Adam
problem.
Filkins. Hopefully you had a good time. Wade,
Oh,
we need to have you
absolutely.
back. We popped your cherry on the podcast. We'll get you more airtime next time.
Absolutely.
Not everybody can be really drunk and talk through the whole thing.
All right.
Bazing.
Anyway, make good choices.